That is to say, mind and body both. Though not as definite about that as Descartes. Berkeley is a mentalist. Not mind and body both, but only mind and its ideas. Hume is a skeptic about all metaphysical knowledge. So he does not argue for any metaphysical position. He does not argue for mind-body dualism. He does not argue for materialism. He does not argue for idealism. He maintains that we know no matters of fact, that is to say, nothing about reality as it is, no matters of fact beyond present experience. In other words, if the model is that the mind has its ideas, its experience, which represent to us external things, you see. Now, Hume, who says we know no matters of fact beyond experience, is going to say we know nothing about external things, and further that we know nothing about mind, which would be a reality beyond our experience. So all we know is experience. He's skeptical about knowing that. He's skeptical about knowing that. Oh, he may have certain beliefs, but not knowledge, you see. So by virtue of the fact that all we know is experience, Hume also, as we indicated before, is a phenomenalist. That is to say, all we know is the phenomena, appearances, but not reality. Okay. Now, having said that and put it in this framework of the representational theory, you can anticipate what his argument is going to be. Namely, it's going to be very, very much like Berkeley. You see? Hume follows Berkeley's argument about our knowledge of matter and our knowledge of causal power. Yeah. And he has an analogous argument about our knowledge of mind and our knowledge of God. Namely, that the causal inferences that are involved are inadequate. They don't prove it. Now, that has further implications because the ethic which Locke developed, as you recall, was a kind of ethic which he thought was demonstrable from our knowledge of the nature of the human self, from human nature. Now, if we don't have knowledge of human nature, what can we do with that? You see. So John Locke's kind of natural law ethic is also ruled out by Hume. And in as far as he still wants to be an empiricist, what is he going to turn to? Not empirically derived knowledge of human nature metaphysically speaking, but only experience of our moral sentiments, moral feelings. So in ethics, he becomes what we call an ethical subjectivist. That is to say, the basis for our moral judgments is in our moral feelings. Yeah. When I say something's unjust, I mean when I see the similarity between me and you and see the way you're being treated, I feel pain, because I know it would hurt me. And so I cry, unjust. What that means is, ouch, it hurts. Ethical subjectivist. Because in the development of a phenomenalism that makes no metaphysical judgments, you have no metaphysical basis for an ethic. So ethics has got to find a new direction. And there are strains in Hobbes and Locke that are picked up. You notice how they both refer to pleasure and pain that has some role in our moral knowledge. You see? And so those empirical ingredients of moral experience are picked up and made, in effect, the total basis for an ethic in somebody like Hume. So think of this in reading Hume. The fact that he claims not to know, a skeptic is one who says, I don't know and I don't know how to find out. He's not one who denies something. He says we don't know. The fact that he doesn't know still allows him to believe certain things for other reasons. He believes in the existence of matter. Berkeley didn't. You see. He believes in the existence of matter. He doesn't believe that minds, souls exist, at least. He doesn't see any reality to that, it seems. And he's sort of ambivalent on God, depending how you understand his writings, how you interpret them. But on what basis does one believe? Belief is the result not of logical process or empirical evidence, but of psychological process. And he turns our attention to the psychology of belief instead of the logic of evidence. Yeah. So as you read Hume in the first chapter, you'll find he says, be a philosopher, but amidst all your philosophy, be still a man, a woman. Well, he doesn't say woman, I add that. He says, be still a man, woman. In other words, there's something about human nature that doesn't let us away without believing. Even though there's something about philosophy that reminds you don't have logical proof. So he tries to balance these two. Well, okay, we'll start talking more specifically about David on